Lethal Company has exploded in popularity recently and has basically become the new trend game of 2023, which is deserved, but it's exactly what I'm afraid of. Before we get into any of that though, I'd like to talk about the game a little bit. Unless you've been living under a rock or don't spend your time watching talentless hacks, Lethal Company is Steam's latest indie smash hit, and like I said, it completely deserves it in my opinion. It's a beautifully simple game that has a fresh, new concept. Unless you count Phasmophobia, but the difference is this game isn't shovelware. So anyways, you know the drill by now. The orange guys in suits run into a building, collecting junk and avoiding monsters. The game is scary, funny, it's essentially everything you'd want of a game from this nature.
You see that big tube? That's where the fire is.
It was also seemingly carefully crafted from the ground up to become a game that's successful with streamers, and has gameplay perfectly suited for clips, funny moments, and shorts. All of this kinda reminds me of another game. And this is where the problem will start to become apparent. Everyone liked this game when it came out. It was a blast, but with no changes to the game itself, it suddenly became another game that only cringy kids play, with countless unfunny memes being pushed by the very people who used to be obsessed with it. This goes without saying, but the problem was overexposure. When you're doom scrolling and you see Mr. White Guy streamer screaming and overreacting after getting his neck snapped by the Shadow Man, it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, that's the game that I play with my friends. Funny moments and hilarity ensue. But when you see the second clip and the third and the fourth, it starts to get a little annoying. Variety is the spice of life, and no one wants to be unavoidably exposed to a game they're getting tired of. It's the same thing that happens to every popular thing nowadays, no matter what quality it actually is. You remember when Minecraft was huge in like 2012, but it became so obnoxious that the general internet got sick of it and considered it a cringy kid game? Yeah, ignoring the resurgence it had in 2020, this is the fate I'm worried of. Especially because Lethal Company was seemingly made from the ground up to be popular, like a scientific formula. The developer of this game knew exactly what he was doing making it like this. It combines various annoying trends that the internet already likes and puts them into a blender. And that's fine, I'm glad the game is succeeding, truly. I've had a lot of fun playing it myself. I just don't want to see a game I genuinely like become the next Undertale, Minecraft, or even that other game. It's an annoying endless cycle of following the herd. The internet says go play this indie game because it's better than those other AAA games.
What I also love is that it just goes to show how indie games can absolutely blow AAA million-dollar products out of the water. Examples like Among Us and BattleBit, which have also dominated Steam charts in the past, show the public is sick of the gaming industry and its greedy insistence on turning everything into a live service with incessant microtransactions.
And the opinion you're supposed to have is that it's just another dead, cringy game for kids. I mean, the subreddits and discords are already full of banned kid memes and unfunny jokes from the general player base. To be fair and to give it some credit though, Lethal Company is a lot more elegant than some of these other games that have had the fate I'm afraid of. There's no cutesy art style or pretentious lore, quirky characters, or annoying and flashy cosmetics and emotes, except for that one. There's no obnoxious mascots you can shove in your thumbnails. The monsters in the game are just too simplistic to really work for that, and they're also just too genuinely scary for iPad kids in my opinion. The art style is incredibly drab in a good way and reminiscent of boomer shooters. There's no flashy colors or obnoxious shit in it. And the gameplay itself isn't as ADHD as a majority of these trend games. It's honestly a bit slower paced. The game could still maintain a generally good appearance and hold up as a PvE classic. That's my ideal situation. Baldur's Gate 3 earlier this year proved that even if a game gets immensely popular, it doesn't mean that it will get overexposed and obnoxious. But that's the thing, Baldur's Gate is a single-player slash co-op story game, and this is a streamer game with a lot of human interaction, and you know how those tend to go. It starts off in the golden age, with everyone playing it, sharing their farmed clips and stolen memes. But then once everyone gets sick of seeing it everywhere, we get to the popular equals bad age, where it's considered cringe to like it, and it's seen as nothing more than a dying trend. If you're still playing it and latching onto it, you're just beating a dead horse, even if nothing changes about the game at all. After that, we get to my personal least favorite part, the irony age, where some of the biggest fans of the game will pretend like they never liked it in the first place and start projecting insanely hard.
Plus, I mean, come on, the hazard suits, very emotes. It's these silly interactions that have led to it.
Constantly annoying the current players for playing a game that they liked 3 months ago. Making fun of the game and insulting the remaining fans because they secretly don't like themselves very much. Then we finally get to the calm age, where all the ADHD losers move on to the next shiny toy, leaving only players who truly enjoy the gameplay to stick around, which is probably the best case scenario. I really do hope I'll be proven wrong about this speculation, truly. But now that I've seen content farms pumping out Lethal Company stuff, I think it's too late and the fate is already sealed. Whether a trendy product is good, bad, or somewhere in between, people will always get tired seeing it everywhere. It's just human nature. It's like clockwork at this point. I've been on the internet for a while now and I've seen various trends come and go. History is doomed to repeat itself in this scenario, I'm afraid, so enjoy this golden age while it lasts. Right now, all eyes are on this game. There's so much potential in it. You could call me cynical for saying this, but this game is made by a single dev, and I don't think this single overworked dev can pump out enough content fast enough for this ever-growing crowd. I don't think you'll be able to update the game, adding new monsters and stuff fast enough until that fateful day where everyone gets bored and moves on to the next thing. These trends tend to last about a year, if that, and at my 20 or so hours in the game, it's already starting to get a little bit repetitive. By the time he's able to add enough content, I think the mob will have spoken. Just wait in a few months. You'll start seeing these Lethal Company bad tweets pop up, because the internet has this weird habit of absolutely beating something into the ground that's popular and hyperfixating on it until everyone is sick of it. So enjoy Lethal Company while it lasts. I know I am. That whole area is done. The whole area over there is good. And when the day comes where it gets thrown away as just another trend, don't let the echo chamber discourage you from playing it if you still truly enjoy it. But of course I'm not the only one saying this though. A lot of people have already said this game is the new, well, you know. And much like the comparing game situation, you can't leave it at simply liking Lethal Company. It has to be Lethal Company good and Among Us bad. It's not the new Among Us because it's actually fucking good. Don't compare good, fun, exciting, different, and an original game to Mafia ripoff. These are the takes I've been seeing. Takes from people who are oblivious that Lethal Company is yet another trend game that will be irrelevant in a few months, unfortunately. And when the new hot trend game of 2024 comes along, it'll be Lethal Company bad and whatever good. Lethal Company is just some cringy kids game with an unfunny fanbase that repeats the same jokes. I wouldn't be caught dead playing that shit. Sometimes pattern recognition is a useful tool to have to stop this endless cycle. It's too bad not many people have it. Once the hive mind has spoken, you're not allowed to like this thing anymore. That's just the end of it. The overexposure of the goofy men in suits getting eaten by monsters and falling to their deaths while collecting garbage will eventually cause fatigue. It's just human nature at this point. We're always looking for something fresh and new to obsess over because we're bored. And this is it, for now. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have left to say on the matter. All I can say is I hope I'm proven wrong, but if I'm not, enjoy this game while it lasts.
Perhaps one day the constant memes and shenanigans will be seen by executive higher-ups in big studios, and they'll figure out enforcing crunch and horrific conditions for their employees to release broken games actually isn't the best foot forward. In short,